You know that, dude. I don't put anything like I don't put
Yeah, but
anything in coffee.
you also grind your beans every morning.
And
I don't know. Hipster. I don't know.
I know I don't just grind. I hand grind.
Yeah, of course. Well, it
I
takes
have
you
a
like
hand
20
grind.
minutes, right?
No, less than 10.
Of just moving your hand in a circle. 10 minutes of that? Nah.
No, 10,
I'll
10
pass that.
minutes. 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes from the start to actually having the coffee in the cup.
So how long do you actually grind for?
It doesn't take me more than 5 minutes at most.
5 minutes.
I said at most, probably more
I
like two to
push
three.
I
More
push
like
two buttons on my Keurig and it's done.
yeah, but it also tastes like crap.
I grab my Dunkin' Donuts creamer and we're good to go.
You offend my taste buds.
Hello, fellow weebs and otakus, to another episode of Anime Fix, your fix for all things anime. I'm Chase.
And I'm Lance.
Hello, Lance.
Hello, Chase.
How are you today? It's not
Pretty
like we just
good.
talked for the last 15 minutes, but oh, I'm
Did you
really
enjoy?
sad I couldn't. What do you say?
I was gonna say, did you enjoy sleeping in today?
No, you didn't let me sleep in, Lance. You woke me up in the middle of me sleeping.
It woke you. It was 10 o'clock. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
you don't. That's morning, is it not? Like I would be okay if you woke me up at noon, like now.
I woke up at 8, and I felt like that was too late.
Yeah, but you have a big boy job, so.
You are about too soon.
Well. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
We will.
Oh man, I'm really sad I wasn't able to go with you, but you had a lovely date, I heard. So
Yes, we did. It was fun. It was a great movie. What was your initial thoughts on it?
um, I know why it was called Belle, sort of, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was definitely a modern, loose. Well, I wouldn't say too loose, but it was definitely a modern adaptation of Beauty and the Beast.
I
Of that
mean, in
story.
this only in the sense that there was a beautiful girl and a beast. That was the only thing that like that and the rose probably. That's the only thing that like the
Don't
story
don't forget.
itself was
Don't
not right.
forget. Okay, well, first off, the Beauty and the Beast that you're talking about is a Disney adaptation of a completely different story. Like they're all based off the same core tenement. Like they're Disney's version is not the standard. Is not the
What's the standard? How's the standard play out?
uh I don't remember.
Haha.
I don't remember.
Gotcha.
But none of Disney's movies have ever been a true adaptation. Like there are
Well, yeah, you can't show like kids crows eating out eyes of like girls in Cinderella. That's not gonna work.
yeah. Um no, yeah, like so the beautiful girl,
Yeah.
there was the beast. There was also the douchebag pretty boy.
Justice.
I'll say so. I'll start with my initial thoughts at the very beginning. I felt like it was very disjointed, and I was kind of just
What do you mean?
I don't the sort of plot switching between like the past and the present between
How's that disjointed?
I'm
It's
just
just
saying my first impression is I had a little trouble following what was going on.
okay.
But as the movie progressed, uh, it definitely I felt like it ironed itself out.
Gotcha.
And I was talking to Tori about it, and she said she thinks that maybe was intentional because the main character, her life is kind of fragmented between
Yeah.
who she used to be, who she is now, her relationship with other people. So they think that so her Tori's thought was they intentionally made it that way at the beginning. So that way, as she becomes more confident in herself, her perception and her experience of her surroundings also becomes a little bit more confident.
Okay. Yeah.
That was, I think that if that was intentional, then I mean, bravo, because it worked. But
Yeah.
yeah, but as a just an initial impression, I felt like it smoothed out and improved as it went on. I definitely wasn't expecting that sort of dark tone with the kid and his family.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was
That
not expecting the kid. I was definitely expecting like I really wanted it to be the dad. I really did.
part of me was thinking it was it was either the dad or it was
Or
the
the love interest, yeah.
yeah.
But I thought the dad would be like more poetic because like when the beast and like her are like dancing, right, with the flowers and everything, she doesn't go in for a kiss or anything. Obviously she just holds him like saying it's gonna be all right, which makes sense for what actually happened. But like throughout the whole movie, the dad's always asking if she's okay, but she has never asked if the dad was okay. And I thought like that was his internal turmoil. I
Mhm.
thought that would have been really awesome to see, like, hey, you're hurting too, you know what I mean, after
Yeah,
like losing your
yeah.
wife.
I think that would have been really cool too. Something that I kind of so did you did you find it really weird that this one random vigilante had like a special gun that could show everyone's true identity in
Did they say why he had it or not?
I didn't pick up on it. I don't know if it's a translation issue. Did you watch the sub dub? Which
I watched
one?
subbed.
Or sub?
Subbed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it didn't explain to you in the sub, there might be something that's more explained in the light novel.
Gotcha. Maybe I like only thing I can think of is either he won a bunch of like fighting tournaments and got that as a prize, or he's a hacker and got it. I don't know.
He said he did say that they gave it to him. But we don't know why he has it. Like why is he the arbiter of justice in this universe? I
No
mean, it's
idea.
because he has tons of sponsors. We saw that.
Maybe it's because he has justice in his name. Justice.
So there was
Um,
some confusing parts like that.
my initial first thoughts when the movie like opened up and everything was first gorgeous animation yet again. It was
Beautiful.
amazing, beautiful, and then right after that, once they were explaining you and as with the real world and like other reality, I was like, huh, Summer Wars.
Yep, that's exactly what I thought
I was
too.
like,
Like,
I was like, and I honestly, I know, probably it's just because Summer Wars came out, such a long time ago. But like the virtual world of Summer Wars versus the virtual world of Belle,
you.
it's so much more detailed in Belle. It's not just whiteness, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I,
But
I
like,
thought the same thing. I said like Chase is gonna when he sees this, he's gonna go. It's not as white.
yeah,
of
but
a,
like, it still has the feeling of emptiness, if that makes sense, where it's just blocks and pixels, unless you created a world like the castle or created like, or people created that area. Like it still felt empty unless someone made a certain like area
yeah, because like the main area that everyone hung out in was you're right, like
empty.
blocks and pixels. Like I wouldn't say empty. I'd say maybe empty of substance, but not empty in like content because it was
Yeah,
very filled out. Like there wasn't a lot of empty space. I felt
yeah,
like in the main city, there wasn't a lot like there wasn't like a restaurant you could go to or a virtual arcade that you could go to or any sort of like in universe sort of experience other than just watching someone. Even the whale too, like the whale that she was riding on, that was very reminiscent of almost like deadpan pulled out of Summer Wars.
what part? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like,
Do
what
you
part of
remember in
Summer
Summer
Wars?
Wars there was the sort of guardian whale that floated around the city?
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Summer.
I mean, I don't know why you're pulling up because you're not gonna be able to show me.
I could screen share, dude.
I don't know how to work that. I don't
You don't
work
know
in
how to,
IT. I don't work in IT.
bro. It's 2022. Everyone knows how to screen share.
A whale from Summer Wars. Uh, um, I gotta sneeze. I gotta sneeze. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, the blue and the pink whale. I see now.
Yeah.
Like even looking at like a screenshot of the rabbit and all that stuff, man, it's like it looks so empty. I don't know, man. Just empty in Summer Wars. Not saying it's a bad movie, but like I thoroughly enjoyed the real life part of it more than the virtuality part of Summer Wars. Now in Belle, I think I still enjoy the real life part of it more, but like I didn't hate my life watching the virtual reality part. If that makes sense.
For you, it does.
Oh
But
man. What do you
no,
think?
yeah.
Oh, so did you understand the meaning of the film or the point it was trying to make? I
Um,
struggled with it, so I had to look it up.
the meaning of the film. So like,
Yeah, like the main point it was driving home.
being kind and caring of those around you, trying to understand that we're all, each of us has our own thing that we're struggling and suffering through. And
Of There's this one review that like it totally made sense to me once I read it. I gotta pull it back up here. Entertain them for a little bit.
so last week I watched. So I'm caught up on Attack on Titan, and
Oh,
I'm now at the point where I'm waiting for new episodes as they release. I was so frustrated that when I went to go find the newest episode last Sunday, that all they had was sub. They didn't have dub available, and I was like frantically Googling for any video site that might have the dub. Like, oh yeah, all of them were saying, yeah, dub will launch in like 2 to 3 weeks. It's like I had like a 15-minute sort of like discussion with myself, like, oh, I want to watch the dub, or do I want to watch the sub, or wait for the dub? And I was so invested that I went ahead and watched the sub. Sub was amazing. I think now looking back on when I watched the sub version of Makia, I think that was just bad. I think it was just a bad subtitle with a bad movie. Maybe it was just a bad movie that the subtitles didn't really make me more interested. Is that when because that was the first Japanese subtitled movie I'd ever watched. Was that anime? Was Makia? If that was my only basis of comparison, I would say subtitle is horrible for me. But after watching it with the newest episode of Attack on Titan, I think it was just a bad sub. So yeah,
okay, I
that's
found it.
new with me. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, you're welcome. Perfect timing, right? I found it.
Yeah.
So they called it wrong righteousness, and let me know if you agree with this or not. Um, so like in the beginning of the movie when she's having all those like nightmares and flashbacks and like how she's struggling with her mom's like passing, everything like that. Why? So like she was always upset or like questioning why her mom, who from all context of the movie isn't a trained like swimmer or trained like anything, she's just a random lady. Why would she risk her life and abandon her kid for a stranger's kid? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's called like wrong righteousness, they called it, of where she struggles with that and like she's traumatized by that. And then at some point in the movie, which I think is when she is sacrificing her other personality and like sacrificing the subscribers and like the followers and the ability to sing again, um, for two kids that she doesn't know at all. So, and then she at that point she realizes why her mom did that, because she was the only one at the time that was able and willing to help. You know what I mean? Like no
I
one
agree.
else. Yeah, yeah. So like when they're watching the video of the kids, right? There's two other people that come in and view, and they're like, "Should we call the cops and everything?" No, let's just leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's true. I like because when we see the flashback of her mom racing to save that stranger's kid, it doesn't look like anyone else is jumping to action, right? She's the
Mm-hmm.
first one, and she's like, "I got to do this." And I think, not everyone, you know, eh, I don't want to say if you don't do that that you're a bad person because you're not, but some people who have that innate ability or that innate willingness to sort of jump to arms and sacrifice themselves, risk their life or risk their wellness,
Mm-hmm.
help someone either they know or don't know. I think that that's something you only learn about yourself when you're put in that situation.
Yeah.
I think I
Strong.
could say all day. I could say all day long I would do that, but until I'm in that
Yeah,
scenario where I'm put
it's
to
hard
the
to
test,
say.
yeah.
They also say like unclear justice as another like word that I guess they made for it, or like
But is
phrase.
like what's the right outcome? Like what's
Yeah.
the correct?
Yeah. Yeah, like even trying to do the right thing by doing the wrong thing. You know what I mean? So like another example would be the dude that's the justice dude. He's trying to, in his mind, make you better because the beast is like terrorizing and like messing up everything, and he's willing to sacrifice anybody to get rid of him. You know what I mean? Sacrifice Belle
Yeah.
and like all that things.
I think a real good real world example, and it's not, it's not. I don't think anyone would disagree with this, but like, let's simple way is like, say you have someone you need to rush to the hospital, right?
Yeah.
And time is important. Get in your car, you speed, right?
Yeah.
Technically breaking the law by speeding.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But is the reason that you're speeding justified because you're trying to help someone, who's in danger, whether, a physical injury or life threatening?
Yeah.
Um, I don't think anyone would say that speed, that there's a question between speeding and saving someone, helping someone like that. But like that's an example of where you can distinguish breaking the law to do something that you be virtually seen as the right move.
Yeah. So
So
like another thing, I'm totally like paraphrasing this article, but if you want to read it, it is, I'm gonna give credit because obviously this is not my stuff, but it's a anime global anime dot global. It's Animov V. You should be able to find it like that. It's Bell Wrong Righteousness, just so they get credit because I don't want to just take their stuff. But they were saying um the yeah, could I help someone even with the wrong decision? And then therefore I want to depict like making a mistake in a correct way. I think that's kind of like pretty eye opening, I guess. Kind of like
oh,
obviously just like what you were saying as well. So
I
what would you do in that situation if there's a kid stranded, but your kid is right
oh,
next to you, and like do you go save the stranger's kid? Or do you stay with your kid?
ooh, I don't know. Um,
I know my answer.
I I guess my answer is a non-answer. I know I don't know for sure. I would think though, knowing how I approach problems, I'd probably weigh what the risk is, right? Like
Hmm.
I probably if there is a very high chance that something might happen to me, probably wouldn't do it. That doesn't mean I wouldn't assist someone who had more training or more experience or more knowledge on how to solve the problem. I would definitely do that. But I would probably sit there and go, okay, what is the likelihood that this is going to end? Because if I jumped into the river, and I don't have the adequate training because that's okay. So that's what it was. There was a flooded river, and the mom was swimming across to save a child who was abandoned on the other side of the bank.
Yeah.
Um, if I get in that river, I don't have enough knowledge or training or confidence in myself to be able to make it across and save that child, then I run the risk, in my view, I run the risk of not only harming myself, also harming the child, right? I think in this situation, you don't see what happened, but I imagine that that was a very just unusual that at least the child survived, right?
Yeah.
Um, we don't, again, we don't have context of the mother's, how trained she is. That's my answer is like
Yeah.
I would consider
You'd weigh the
what
consequences.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is kind of answering without answering. I agree.
Yeah.
That's all good though. Like I think my answer is a lot easier because I am a trained swimmer. I've swam for like 5 years competitively, so I wouldn't have a problem going out there. But I would bring 2 life vests instead of one. That would be something I would do.
Yeah.
Even though I know I can swim, that's a really fast river.
Now let's make it a little bit broader of an answer, or broader of a scenario. In that situation, you said you'd be confident.
Mm-hmm.
But is in any situation?
Okay. Let's switch the situation because I thought about this as well. A kid falls on the train tracks. There's a train coming, like a subway train, like in Tokyo, and you're holding your kid right next to you. What would you do then?
I'm holding my kid.
You have your kid or your nephew or someone like next to you, like holding his hand, waiting for the train to come, and then you see a random kid fall into the train tracks or the subway tracks.
Ooh.
Do you go try to save that kid?
Ooh.
I thought about this a lot too because if that happens and you try to go and get the stranger's kid, your kid might follow after you like unknowingly.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's a tough
one.
Yeah.
I guess it would depend how close I am. If he's right next to me and I see him right there, I think my mind would make a split decision randomly. I don't know about randomly, but like I would try to calculate how far that train is away or how far that subway train is away.
How fast it's moving?
How fast it's moving. Because if it's like 20 feet away and it's fast, there's no way I'm gonna make it.
You wouldn't make it if it was 20 feet away.
Yeah,
you would not make it to the edge of the track before that train went by.
Yeah, but like I'm thinking like I don't know, like would I attempt it or not? I guess I obviously wouldn't know unless we're in the moment.
Then there's also like in those kinds of situations, you're as it's happening, right? Your brain is processing, like it is like what you're trying to understand what is going on, like why is this happening? And sometimes that can, in those situations, it puts you in like a freeze state, and I would even say it's a lack of decisiveness. I think it's more just you're trying to understand what you're seeing. And
have you ever had a moment like that in your life, where like something similar or something like that happened, where you attempted to save someone, even if it was like not a stranger?
No, I don't think I've ever been in that situation.
It's happened to me with Gray, but that's just because he's clumsy.
I've yeah, I can't think of there's not a I've been in okay, so talking about life or death, or are we just talking about conflict?
Conflict, yeah. Putting yourself in harm's way or like mental harm's way or physical harm's way, anything like that. Not causing conflict.
Nothing that I would consider serious. I've been in conflict situations before, but I don't think I've ever been in one
like you put yourself in conflict situations to break something up or something like that.
I've
definitely done that actually. Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, like try to like calm, like
instead of shying away.
Yeah, trying to calm things down.
Oh yeah, there's tons of parties where that happens for me.
I've definitely been in situations where I've heard. I didn't put myself out in the open, but there are situations where I've like neighbors. I've heard them getting into a fight, and then I hear something, kind of like one of them say something that I can't just ignore, right? Like in good
Yeah.
conscience, I can ignore it, and I've called the police on that, and and I've shown them where they lived, but I didn't like out myself to them, saying like, "Hey, I'm the one that called
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Okay.
um." So I've interjected before. I've been in, but in I've never been in like I've never thrown myself in front of a sibling, on top of like a sibling or close friend
Oh, like that. Yeah.
like that, like the person who is the beast in this story. I've never done that before.
Yeah. I can't say I've done that either. So on a brighter note, check these out.
What is that? Strawberry gummy candy.
Yeah. Guess where I got these at, or guess where my mom got them at?
Well, it says product of Japan, so either she went to an
Well,
Asian market or she went to Japan.
no, went to Meyer and got them.
Oh,
Meyer has a bunch of cool like Japanese candy or like Japanese drinks and stuff. So, hey, you like coffee, right?
I do love coffee.
I know you do. But have you ever had that UCC coffee with milk? We saw it at that Comic-Con. I showed it to you.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember.
Well, this is ridiculous. Pull it up. But like that's one of my favorite coffees ever. That's like if I ever have a chance to buy it, like if I'm out and
Did you say it has milk in it?
Yeah.
It's not coffee. It's dessert.
It literally says coffee on it. I don't hear anything else.
If it's not
Hey, look.
black, it's not coffee.
See, look. This is one of the most popular coffees in Japan.
If it's not black, it's dessert.
You're ridiculous.
That does look tasty. I would drink it.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
You know that, dude. I don't put anything like. I don't put
Yeah, but you also grind your beans every morning.
And
I don't know, hipster. I don't know.
I know. I don't just grind. I hand grind.
Yeah, of course. Well, it takes you like 20 minutes, right?
No, less than 10.
Of just moving your hand in a circle. 10 minutes of that? Nah.
No, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes from the start to actually having the coffee in the cup.
So how long do you actually grind for?
It doesn't take me more than 5 minutes at most.
5 minutes.
I said at most. Probably more like 2 to 3.
I push 2 buttons on my Keurig and it's done.
Yeah, but it also tastes like crap.
I grab my Dunkin' Donuts creamer and we're good to go.
You offend my taste buds.
I don't drink it with creamer all the time, but when I have it, I got to use it or it's gonna go to waste.
Oh, so I've looked at the clock on this, like because I use a pour over too. I have two. I have
I use a pour over as well.
A pour over, and then I have a Chemex.
Is a Chemex that cylinder thingy? It's like brown at the bottom and it goes up and turns.
Yes.
Gotcha. So you're a chemist.
I have Chemex is the brand, actually. Yeah, I don't think it's I think Chemex is more just the brand name.
But you're a chemist, right? Because you're using a Chemex?
No.
Chemist. Chemist Lance.
Anyway, I have two different ways of brewing coffee. But no, like the actual grind itself does not take that long. The longest part is actually the brewing of the coffee.
Do you put a lab coat on when you make it?
Shut the hell up.
Because you're a chemist?
Let's go back to the anime.
Can I call you Dr. Lance?
You may not.
I'm going to call you Dr. Lance.
So anyway, what did you think about the why do you think he manifested as a beast?
Does you automatically manifest to whatever is like inside of you or whatever, like your feelings and emotions?
The way I understood it was it scans like your body, and I don't know.
Ooh, I don't want them scanning my body. Government can't have it.
I guess I don't remember because they explain it how they manifest your identity in you.
Yeah, Elon can't have it either. Or
I know that they were like they talked about this the bruises would be identified on the body, right? So if there was some sort of like we see that one artist, right, who has those tattoos of bruises.
Do you know why he's getting those bruises? Like when he's actually getting them? That's when he's getting hit by his dad.
Yeah. I figured, yeah, but that's
Yeah.
him. I'm saying,
Like real time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy. I
um,
don't understand how a father can do that, especially after having a kid.
uh, yeah. I mean, it's I would say, and I have reasons for this. I won't get into here, but I would say that the father is probably in just as much pain. I I would say the father is probably in just as much pain as the kid, but his management of that pain is
It's
toxic.
horrible.
Is horrible.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at that, I saw a family that was in pain. Is what I saw. But what
Yeah.
I saw from them is the they were taking, not only were they having their pain from the loss of their, because what it was is the family lost their mother,
Yeah.
which I thought was interesting because they lost a
Because it's two
mother.
sides. Yeah, it's two
Two
sides
side,
of that.
yeah,
One of them just didn't communicate, and the other one beat his kids.
yeah. Um, but what I saw is like a family that is struggling with that loss of a family member.
Yeah.
And then I see one side of one part of that family putting the pressure that they feel through physical harm onto the other. So like the kids were taking the brunt of their father's pain. That's what I saw.
mean,
That I'm not. I am
I know.
wholeheartedly not saying that that is okay. I'm not saying it's justified, but I
Yeah.
think it's important, especially in a movie talking about empathy and understanding. Everyone has deals with things differently.
Mm.
I think it's important to understand that he is in just as much pain and he needs help.
Maybe it's just me from my personal experiences that I won't get into, but I don't care if he's in pain or not. You're the adult. I mean, at that point,
You're absolutely
your
right.
pain is swallowing you up, and you're a monster at that point, and there's no excuse. Me as an empath doesn't care.
Isn't
and
that's
I won't get
funny right
into it.
there?
But I won't get into it. But like
I'll say
that's
it's
my
funny
thought.
that you consider yourself an empath, and you. I would say I'm not a very empathetic person,
I
and
am. I would consider I am.
and I
I would
would say
consider
that's
you.
funny.
I would say you are pretty empathetic
I
towards me.
wouldn't. I pity you. No,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
kidding.
There it is. There it is. There is the mistake.
I wouldn't consider myself very empathetic,
Okay.
but maybe our definition of what empathetic means um, differs.
What do you think? I'm empathetic?
I would think when I think of empathetic, I mean,
Well, actually,
we could
yeah,
search
yeah,
up
yeah.
the dictionary definition, but if like when I hear the word empathetic, what I interpret is a sense of feeling the of the struggles of others. So like looking at someone and wholeheartedly knowing the feeling of struggle, of pain, of anguish that that person's going through, or happiness,
Oh, yeah.
and joy. Like I feel what they feel. That's what I think of as empathetic.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
So like
But
when
I
I
would say like empathy, I think, and we can look it up as well, but like my mind of empathy is being able to empathize with them, but help them and like understand them and like help with solutions, stuff like that. I I I separate that from sympathy because you're just gonna wallow with them. You know what I mean?
so you would say sympathy is wallowing, is living in their pain, and empathy is
And taking on their pain and stuff like that. Empathy, I would say, is recognizing that pain and understanding it, but not taking it on yourself. You know what I mean?
interesting. Okay.
That's what I would think. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, we can. It's our interpretation of. I mean, we can look up what an actual definition is, but like,
Yeah. Only one of us is a doctor. I got you.
but anyway, that's what I saw. I wholeheartedly
Yeah.
agree with you. It does not justify his actions. He should be punished.
And maybe
Because-
I'm not. Yeah. Maybe I'm just because of my personal experiences. I don't empathize with him. I don't know.
I thought it was kind of cool when she
I don't
turned
know where you're
around
going with
him.
that. Okay, there you
Oh,
go.
no, when she was hugging those two boys,
Yep.
he was like, you're not going to tear my family apart, and he's like, and he harmed her, right? He cut her face with his nails.
Yep.
Um, and then when she turned around and he went to go, like he was going to punch her, and she just stood there, and just
Hmm.
stared him down, and then watching as he like cowered in fear because here's this child not and I think that's why I saw him as a suffering human right there, right? Because that when someone stood up to him, he didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, I saw a bully cower away when someone stood up to him.
Fair. I thought that moment was phenomenal. I thought that was like that was when we see her reach her, I don't want to say peak, but like her journey. I felt like to becoming a confident confident person. That was where she reached that point.
Yeah, I totally agree. My question is, how did the mom die again of Kei and Tomo, the kids?
I don't know if we know
I'm
what
looking up
I. Okay,
when you what?
I know that I think it might have been a. I'm wondering if it was the same because like the way that they talk about them losing their mom or that family member is like a news broadcast, right? Like they were interviewing the family, and the dad was saying like how they got to stick together and stuff.
Yeah,
So I'm wondering if it was the same river
this is the same river.
that Suzu's mom dies in. I'm wondering
Hmm.
if that was a big event that affected a lot of people.
Huh. Maybe. Um. I don't know. Um. Um. I'm trying to look. I don't see. Oh yeah. So like my question for the dad would be, was he like that before the mom passed away? And did the mom like set a building on fire or like go into a river and commit suicide or something because of the dad's abusiveness? That's my question.
It's
That
possible.
would provide a lot of context for me as well.
I think that's
I wouldn't
important.
say, yeah, I wouldn't say that if that's not the case, like if that didn't happen or it was just an accident and then he became the way he is now, I wouldn't say his actions obviously are not justified, but I can empathize a little bit. But if I saw him on the street, I still punch him in the face.
And he would deserve it 100%. He deserves whatever punishment. I kind of wish I saw what they did. Like, did they go to the police? Did they take him to the kids to another family member? Did they? I wish I kind of saw because they sort of like there was a time jump between when she stood up to that dad when she
Hmm.
gets back to her hometown.
Yeah,
I wish
nothing happened. Like I wish she would have took them because you just get they're going right back to the abusive dad.
well, we don't know what she did. We don't know what happened. Did she go to the police? Is there another family member? Did
She
they go?
went back home, and her dad was
She
waiting for her.
she went back home the next day.
Yeah.
So like we don't know what she did
But
in
then
that.
Kay said, "I'm going to stand up for myself." That to me implies that they're just going to go back there, and he's not going to take it anymore. But what's he going to do? He's 14.
That's what we don't know what the outcome was.
I remember when they were watching the video, and everybody was in that classroom watching the video of Tomo and Kay like being abused and whatever. And one of the older ladies called the police and was like, "Hey, there's someone in danger." And then she got a reply of, "There are rules. We can't go." What?
Okay, well, but okay, that's I would say that's a stranger calling in versus the kids show up at the police station and said, "Hey, we need help. Our lives are in danger." I don't think they're going to say, "Hey, you got to go back to your dad because we're not going to do anything." I'm pretty sure at that point
But they have proof though of that happening. There's a video of it.
they had a live stream.
Yeah, she's smart enough to record it. No, no.
I mean,
Remember,
I guess
remember she posted it.
we don't know.
She
We honestly we don't
posted
know.
it.
We don't know because like maybe there is a rule, man. I don't know.
My question is, when Belle's singing and everything, and everybody and all of the metaverse is watching her sing, just put that video right above you. Just put that video of the dad abusing him just right above you, and the internet's gonna find him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That didn't cross your mind?
You know what? Maybe there is a rule. I don't know.
Your old dumb
my
rule.
yeah, it is a dumb rule then. But my instinct is that maybe the difference is that it was a stranger calling in this versus if actually kids went in to report a crime. I mean, and let's go one step further. She could file charges against him because he assaulted her.
Yeah.
So like maybe the kids can't do anything, but she sure can go in there and say, "Hey, this man, you see the cut on my face.
Mm-hmm.
I want to press charges."
And I don't know how it is in that fictional universe or anything, but to me, it sounds like kids are not taken seriously at all.
I think in a lot of situations, kids aren't taken seriously.
You remember like when all the kids were coming to back Dragon when they were trying to reveal them, and then all the adults was like, they only have 1 or 2 views. They're just kids. They don't have a voice. I don't know.
I think. Well, one, we don't know the rules of this fictional universe. Two, there could very well be a certain type of law in Japan that
Yeah, I have no idea. That's fine.
that. So we're just talking. We're speculating wholeheartedly, but I think in general, kids aren't taken seriously.
No, not at all. They're not.
And
it's frustrating.
It is frustrating, and it's
I
scary.
remember when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you don't know some things, the things you do know should be taken seriously. I don't know.
I mean, you run the risk because, like, it's such a weird thing because, like, what a kid might interpret as one thing might not be seen, from an adult's perspective as that serious, and it very well could not be serious, and it's the kid over exaggerating, right?
Yeah.
You could also have the inverse where the adult is taking it seriously, and the kid is not exaggerating. This actually happened, and they're just like, "Oh, well, you're just making it up because we presume that because you're a child, you embellish things."
Yeah.
I think there should be. I don't know what the answer is, but like, I like it. I like that the story kind of put a spotlight on that.
Yeah, I do too.
Of adults not taking kids seriously when kids are in, especially in situations where kids should be taken seriously.
Oh yeah, totally agree. I think Kay said before he tried to go to the police, right?
Oh yeah, he had a whole monologue on like, yeah, I hear that all the time. I want to help you. I want to.
And then they talk to the dad, and the dad puts on the charm.
Yeah.
And then they get beat even more.
Yeah. How dare you report me to the police? Don't you know what I do for you? All that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just so ridiculous. I hate it. So stupid.
Yeah. And by the way, all this isn't a cartoon. I feel like I want to stress that all the time.
Yeah.
Like when
people say it's a cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah. That like what cartoon is talking about the sort of interpersonal, interfamily dynamics and a sense of self, growing and comfortable in your own skin and becoming more confident. Like, what cartoons talk about that?
SpongeBob.
I don't know. I never really watched SpongeBob.
I have no idea, man. I just threw out a random cartoon that is popular.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I like the movie. There's a lot of mixed reviews online about it, though. That I saw people didn't like the ending. People didn't understand why the mom went for the girl and everything. They didn't have any. They didn't have enough reading comprehension skills to understand what the movie was about. They shouldn't and they shouldn't leave reviews.
I wouldn't go so far as saying lacking reading comprehension skills. I think what it boils down to is no. I think what it boils down to is how willing you are to step outside your direct point of view. I think a willingness to kind of like read other opinions, try to understand different perspectives, and broaden your overall perspective. I think that's what it comes down to because like what they're probably when they review that and they say I don't understand why the mom did that, they're going from a gut instinct like that,
Yeah.
like what the main character did initially. How could you abandon me to
Yeah.
save a stranger? Without going into what you did was you read reviews, you read other opinions, you kind of tried to understand like a point of view or an ideology around why the mother did what she did, right? And I
Yep.
think that's what it boils down to is a willingness to
Like an
broaden your.
open versus closed mind
Yeah.
mindset. Yeah, I totally agree.
Did you know that this movie won more awards than Spirited Away?
I've never seen Spirit Away, so I can't comment on that.
So Tori told me that when because she was reading, reviews and
Yeah.
perspectives and researching it on her way home. She told me that. So as someone who has seen Spirited Away, I
Mhm.
don't know if I would say it's better than Spirited Away to win more awards. Now, I guess I would ask myself what awards did it win in comparison?
Like where
Right?
there probably wasn't enough anime awards to give out at the time, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there are some questions I have about like what the award that were given and what was, at the time, what was it competing against?
Yeah.
Sort of ask that question. As a movie, though, I think, yes, definitely the animation was better
Yes.
than Spirited Away.
Oh, okay.
Not by much. I wouldn't say it was that much better.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there was a distinction between the metaverse animation and the real world animation. Did you feel that way too? The metaverse animation
Yeah.
was better. Okay.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
So what I'm saying is definitely the metaverse animation was better across the board.
I think that was on purpose though.
I think so too.
My
I didn't want to make
opinion,
sure I saw the same thing that you did.
yeah, in my opinion, I thought like they're trying to idolize or romanticize the virtual reality.
I wouldn't say the story is better than Spirited Away, and I definitely wouldn't say that it's much better the real world anime, like the in world or non metaverse world in the anime
Yeah.
versus Spirited Away. I wouldn't say it's that much better. I don't know. It's interesting that it won more awards though.
Yeah.
I definitely think Spirited Away though is a much better film.
Okay.
Or not much better, a better film.
A better
Wow.
film.
A better film, yeah.
Okay. I'll have to watch Spirit Away sometime.
Maybe we could talk about it next week.
Maybe. I'm cool with it. I don't care.
Okay.
Is that obviously that's a Studio Ghibli film, right?
Yeah.
That'll be the first one I watched that I remember because I haven't. I watched Kiki Delivery Service, but I don't remember it.
We should go on a Studio Ghibli film kick and just
That's
start
fine.
watching it
Yeah.
the next several weeks.
I don't like change, so once I start going, like once I watch one, I'll probably want to watch more.
Okay, let's do Spirited Away next week then.
Okay, we'll do Spirit Away.
That
We
way, and then I
definitely
can hear
gotta
what
watch-
you think about that.
Yeah.
If you think it's a much better film or not.
I'll tell you what though, as soon as Jose and the Tigerfish come out, we're watching that. Okay,
Dropping everything else.
dropping
That is
everything else. Everything else.
I am
Watching the
very
trailer
stoked
for it.
that.
Oh my goodness, it looks so nice.
And don't forget, new Shinkai film.
Yes, when's it come out?
That's, I think in the fall.
Ooh, Shinkai.
That's gonna be gorgeous. I don't think I've ever been more excited to go see an anime
Movie.
first time like at a premiere in my life.
Mm.
I because
Was this the first first anime movie you saw in theaters? Oh, nice.
I said to Tori, I said when we met, did you ever think that we would go on a date to an anime to watch an anime in theaters? And she said no. I never thought.
Oh yeah. She probably never thought you'd have an anime podcast as a co-host either.
Yeah, probably not.
No,
I didn't either.
it's awesome though.
Yeah, so this was my first. I want to say, yeah, this is definitely my first that I can remember. Maybe I was a kid taking to see something, but I doubt it.
I think the only anime movies I've watched in theaters have only been Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super.
Don't forget Evolution.
I did not watch that. I watched it as a kid, and I was solely disappointed the whole time I watched it. I was like, "What's going on?"
I feel like I
What is
want to bring that up every week just so I can eventually
I mean,
get
we
over.
can review it. We can review it once, I guess. I don't know, but like you won't understand how frustrating it is because you haven't watched all of Dragon Ball Z.
You don't have to watch it. I have no interest in watching it.
We're eventually going to get you to the point where you watch all of Dragon Ball Z.
I don't think I have enough time.
Yeah, you do. We'll do it 3 episodes a week on top of like what we watch.
No, I have. Yeah. There are much more. There are other animes I'm way more interested in than Dragon Ball. For the time to watch 3 episodes a week.
You're saying you're not interested in me? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That's rude. That's rude.
100% not interested in.
That's rude.
You don't see me making you watch Psycho-Pass.
I thought we were friends. What do you mean? I watched all of Psycho-Pass.
You watched season 1, season 2.
We had multiple episodes on Psycho-Pass.
You haven't watched the movie. You haven't watched season 3. You haven't watched the new movie that came out 2 years ago. You haven't watched any of that.
You, right? You want me to hate you, right? Anything else to talk about? Oh, no. I don't have anything else. Do you?
Yeah, no, I can think of anything else. I think we covered it all.
Yeah. And we'll watch Spirited Away next time, right? Sounds good. All right, man. We'll catch everyone next time when we review Spirited Away.
Bye.